This magic recipe is also referred to as a universal gravy or an all-purpose recipe. Let's begin our universal gravy. And if made right, you literally can churn out more than 50, 60 different recipes. Let's begin. Well, if I may have forgotten to tell this to you earlier, this is also a gravy which has no onion, no garlic, no ginger, and that makes it universally appealing. Also, ladies and gentlemen, stick right to the end of this video because there is a trick in which you can keep this recipe preserved for literally more than 3 months. And like I said, you can churn out 50, 60 different gravies, sabzis, wonderful delights in your kitchen. Beginning with tomatoes, but for that, you of course need a knife. The basic flavor in this recipe is of course the tomatoes, but there's another wonderful ingredient which is a green capsicum. Very, very, very important in this recipe or for this recipe because we do not have onions, we do not have garlic, we do not have ginger. The flavor profile is this man right here. Let's begin with cutting the tomatoes roughly. Now, if you realize and notice, I've deliberately taken a combination of tomatoes which are slightly raw and also overripe. So basically what happens, but when I say overripe, it is not the ones that are deteriorated or gone bad. Nice, ripe, plump tomatoes, almost 80%, and 20% of tomatoes that have that still yellow tinge, just turning ripe, that kind, so that there's sourness and that whole beauty of tomatoes coming into this recipe, creating like a punch and a pack. So remember this. 80-20, just about perfect. 4:1 to keep it precise. Moving on to green capsicum, the whole idea is to ensure we remove the contours like so, as well as the pith and the seeds. Just cut it roughly. Moving on to fresh green chilies, ensure we remove the stalk. Let's heat a pressure cooker with some oil. Now this gravy generally takes a little more of the oil for a simple reason because this forms the base. Eventually, when I'm going to show you the different recipes using this as a base, I'm not going to use oil in that recipe. So here, a little more oil than usual. Also, if you carefully observe, all the ingredients are from our regular pantry. There's nothing out of the kitchen, there's nothing out of the box. Just about a simple recipe, simple ingredients coming together to form one of the most amazing recipe bases ever from an Indian kitchen. Once the oil heats up, I'm going to begin with some whole spices, dried bay leaf, black cardamom, green cardamom. Just about perfect. Let's throw this in. Asafoetida or hing. Along with this, green capsicum, green chilies, and cashew nuts for thickness. Exactly the way you would brown your onions or ginger and garlic so that the untoward kind of flavor goes away. We're going to brown in the capsicum as well. For another reason actually, also because that way you also get that nice, beautiful, wonderful, smoky aroma in this gravy. Turmeric powder, lower the flame, ensure this doesn't burn. Red chilli powder, depending on the color and the spice that you're looking at. Garam masala, home ground, always better and preferable. A little bit of sugar to just bring out the flavor and balance the sourness. Salt, tomatoes. We increase the flame, whack it on a high and mix this. All of this at this point in time is getting cooked on high flame. Simultaneously, you will also realize when you do it yourself that the tomato starts sticking to the sides and the bottom of the pan. Also for a fact that there is sugar in the recipe. That little bit of caramelization is just about perfect. In fact, required for this recipe because that will add in wonderful layers of flavor in this gravy. Once the tomatoes get beautifully, wonderfully squashed, I'm going to add in water. Mix this well. And we cover this. Whack the flame on high and wait for 5 whistles. And with this, off goes the flame. Allow this to settle for 10-15 minutes. We shall open, remove the spices and blend this nice, fine and smooth. Let's do that. With this, our universal gravy is done and ready. And what I'm doing now is transferring this in a muffin tray. Why would I do something like this? The whole idea is to ensure this comes down to room temperature, and then eventually I'm going to push this in the deep freezer so that next time I will show you a couple of recipes using this universal gravy. So wait and watch. This is me, the Bombay Chef Varun Inamdar, signing off. Bye for now.